Hello, this is Maiku Wotaharu. A while back, I did a few dramatic readings of My Immortal by Tara Gillespie. It was very difficult to do without cracking up. It required several takes to read it without any sort of breakage or any laughter from me. What you're about to listen to are my first attempts to read those chapters. Chapter 24 is missing because I forgot to save it.
My Immortal, Chapter 23. Author's Note. To hut the fuck up, bitches. One, we're just gelos, 'cause I got 10,000 reviews. One, thanks to Raven for the help in telling me about the books Girl Rock. Let's go shopping together. The door opened and Professor Rumbridge and Cornelia Fudge stomped out angrily. Then Dumbledum and Rumbridge sawed us. "Mr. Way, what the beep are you doing?" Rumbridge shouted angrily. Dumbledore blared at her. "Oops, she made a mistake," he corrupted her. "She means, hi, everybody, come in." Well, we all came in angrily. So did all the other students. I sat between Darkness and Draco, and opposite Bloody Mary. Crabbe and Goyle started to make some morbid jokes. They both looked exactly like Vile Volo. I ate some Count Chocula and drank some blood from a cup. Then I heard someone shooting angrily. I looked behind me. It was Vampire. He and Draco were shouting at each other. "Vampire, Draco, WTF?" I asked. "You fucking bastard!" yelled Draco at Vampire. "I want to shit next to her." "No, I do," shouted. "No, she doesn't fucking like you, you son of a bitch," yelled Draco. "No, fuck you, motherfucker, she loves me, not you," shouted Vampire. And then he jumped on Draco. No, not in that way, you perv. They started to fight and beat up each other. Dumbledore yelled at them, but they didn't stop. All of a sudden, a terrible man with red eyes and no nose flew in on his broomstick. He had no nose and was wearing a gray robe. All the glass in the window he flew through fell apart. Brittany, that fucking prep, started to cry. Vampire and Draco stopped fighting. I stopped eating. Everyone gasped. The room fell silent. "Voldemort!" Ebony, Darth Vader said evilly in his raspy voice. "Thou have failed your mission. Now I shall kill thou, and I shall kill Vampire as well. If thou dost not kill him before, then I shall kill Draco too. Please don't make me kill him, please," I begged. "No," he laughed crudely. "Kill him, or I shall kill him anyway." Then he flew away cackling. I busted into tears. Draco and Vampire came to contort me. Suddenly my eyes rolled up so they looked all cool and gothic. I had a vision where I saw some lightning flash and then Voldemort going to kill Draco while Draco slit his wrist in a depressed way. "No!" I screamed sexily. Suddenly I locked up and stopped having the vision. Ebony, are you all right?" asked Draco in a worried voice. Yeah, I said sadly as I got up. "Everything's all right, Ennaby," said Vampire all sensitive. "No, it's not," I shouted angrily. Tears of blood went down my face. OMFG, what if I'm getting possessed like in The Ring 2? "It's okay, girl," said Bloody Mary. "Maybe you should ask Professor Sinister about what the visions mean, though." "Okay, Bick," I said sadly, and then we went. I think I'm going to do that one more time. My Immortal by Tara Gillespie. Chapter 25. Read by Maiku Wotaharu. Author's note. Stop flaming, okay? If you do not, then I'll tell Justin to bet you up. 1111. And I'll tell Al the Nreds to put virtues in computer. 1111111111. Fook Yu 1. Raven Fangs for the help. 1. I was so excited. I followed Draco, wondering if we were going to do it again. We went outside, and then we went into Draco's black car. Ebony, what the fuck did Professor Trevorley say? Whispered Draco, potting his gothic wit hand with black nail polish on mine. She said she wouldn't tell me what the visions meant tomorrow, I grumbled in a sexy voice. He took out a heroin cabaret and spiked it, and gave it to me to spork. He started to fly the car into a tree. We went to the top of it. Draco put on some MCR. And all the things that you never ever told me, and all the smiles that are never gonna haunt me, sang Gerard's sexy voice. We started tiling off each other's clothes fervently. He took off my black thong and my black leather bar. I took of his black boxers. Then, he put his throbbing you-know-what in my tool sexily. OMFG, Draco, I screamed, having an orgasm. He started fridging passively. Suddenly, I fell asleep. I started having a dream. In it, a black guy was shooting 2 gothic men with long black hair. No, please don't fucking kill us, one, they pleaded, but he just kept shooting them. He ran away in a red car. No! Oh my fucking god, 1-1, I shouted in a scared voice. Ebony, what's wrong? Draco asked me as I woke up, opening my icy blue eyes. I started to cry and tears of blood went down my face. I told Draco to call Vampire. He did it with his black Lickin' Park mobile. But the worst thing was who the people who were shot in the dream were. Lucian and Sirius, 111. End of take 1. My Immortal by Tara Gillespie. Chapter 26. Read by Maiku Wotaharu. Author's note. Prep stop flaming the stree, okay? 1. If you did not like the story, then go fuck yourself, you fucking prep. You sook. 111. Oh, why? And I wasn't being racist, okay? 1-1. A few mutates later, Vampire came to the tree. He was wearing a black leather Jackson, black leather pants, and a good Charlotte t-shirt. Hi, Vampire, I said flirtily as I started to sob. Draco hugged me sexily, triumphed to comfort me. I started to cry tears of blood and then told them what happened. Oh, fuck it, Vampire shouted angrily. He first started to cry sadly. What fucking dick did that? I don't know, I said. Now come on, we have to tell Dumbledore. We ran out of the tree and into the castle. Dumbledore was sitting in his office. Sire, our dads have been shot, Draco said while we whipped some tears from his white face. Ennaby had a vision in a dream. Dubledre started to cockle. Ha 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 ha. And how do you expect me to know Ebony's not divisional? I glared at Dumbledore. Look, motherfucker, he said angrily as Dumbledore gasped. See, is that toot of cractor. You know very well that I'm not decisional. Now get some fucking people out there to look for Sirius and Lucien Porto. Porto. Okay, he said in an intimated voice. Where are they? I thought about it. Then all of a sudden, long done, I said. I told him which street. He went and called some people and did some stuff. After a few mistunes, he came back and said people were going out looking for them. After a while, someone called him again. He said that they had been found. Draco, Vampire, and I all left to our rooms together. I went with Draco to wait in the nurse's office while Vampire went to slit his wrist in his room. We looked at each other's gothic, depressed eyes. Then we kissed. Suddenly, Sirius and Lucien came in on stretchers. And Professor Sinister was behind them one. End of take 1. My Immortal by Tara Gillespie. Chapter 27. Vampires Will Never Hurt You. Read by Maiku Wotaharu. Author's note. You know what? 111. I do not give a fuck what you preps think about me. 1111. So stop flaming the fucking story because 111. Thanks to Raven for your love in sport and help. I love you, girls. Saws I couldn't update. LOL. I was really depressed and I slit my wrists. I had to go to the hospital. Raven, you rock, girl. 1111111111. Everyone in the room started to cry happily. I had saved them. Draco, Lucien, Sirius Bond, Vampire all came to Hungary. The nurse started to give them medicine. Come on, enemy, said Professor Sinatra. What? Professor Sinatra, that is fucking crazy. She was wearing a gothic black leader dress with a corset top and real vampire blood on it and fucking black platinum boots. I have to tell you the fucking perdition. I looked at Lucien, Seraphs, Drake, and Vampire. They nodded. I smelled heavily and went into a dark room. I changed. Professor Sinister took out some black cards. She started to look into a black crucible ball. She said, Tara, I see Drac times are near, she said badly. She peered into the balls. She peered into the balls. You see, you must go back in time. She took out a time turner like Bloody Mary had. When Voldemort was in Hogwarts before he became powerful, he got his heart broken. Now, do you think he would still become Voldemort if he was in love? I shook my head. You must go back in time and seduce him. It is the only way. If he is still evil, then you must kill him. You can come to my room tomorrow and you can do it. Okay, I said sadly. We did destruction. I went outside again sadly. What fucking happened? Asked Draco and Vampire. Yeah, what happened? Asked Darkness, Willow, and Boldy Mary. I was about to tell them, but everyone was there. They were celebrating Lucien and Sirius being fond. Everyone was proud of me, but I just wanted to talk to Draco. They were cheesing my name, and some reporters were there, trying to interview Dumbledore. A banner was put up. Lots of fucking preps were there, obviously trying to be gothic, wearing the HIM sign on their hands, despite them not having actually heard of them. Even Mr. Norris looked happily. A black and red cake had been brought out. Crab and Goik set up some fireworks, in the shape of skulls from Wesley's Wizard Wises. I put on my invisibility cloak and with Vampire and Draco, and we sneaked outside together. End of first take. My Immortal by Tara Gillespie. Chapter 28. Read by Maiku Wotaharu. Author's note. I said stop geflaming the story. It was a miscat when Professor Relry said that, okay? 1111111. Go to fucking hell, 1111. You sook. Thanks to Philly for the hell, 1. Raven, have fun with Kiwi, 111111. We went into a black room. The walls were black with portraits of gothic bands like MCR, GC, and Marlon Mason all over the town. Oh man, this is gonna be great. A big black coffin was in the middle. Red velvet lined the black box. There were 3 chairs made of bones with real skulls in them. I was wearing a black corset bar with purple stuff on it, fishnet suckings, and a black leather thong underneath. I sat down one of the chairs dispersedly. So did Draco and Vampire. Are you okay? Vampire asked, plotting his albastard hand on mine. He was wearing black nail polish. I was wearing black nail polish with red crosses on it. Yeah, I guess, I said sadly. Draco also put his hand on mine sexily. I smiled sadly with my black lipstick. The problem is, I have to seduce Volksamord. I'll have to go back in time. Draco started to cry sadly. Vampire hugged him. It's okay, baby, he said finally. But what about me? You're not gonna break up or anything, are you? Of course not, I gasped. Really, he asked. Sure, I asked. We Frenched sexily. Vampire looked at us longingly. Then, I took off Draco's MCR shirt and seductively took off his pants. He was hung like a Stallone. He had replaced the vampire tattoo that said enemy on it. Black roses were around it. I gasped. He looked exactly like Gerard Way. Vampire took a video camera. I had said it was okay before. I took off my clothes, then we were in for the rid of our lift. We started Frenching as we climbed to the coffin. He put his Spock. I put his Spock in my you-know-what, and passively we did it. I love you, Ebba B. Oh, let me feel you. I need to feel you, he screamed as we got an orgasm. We watched Vampire filmed everything perfectly. Suddenly, what the fuck are you doing? It was Snope and Professor McGoggle 111. In the first take. Oh my god.